What's going on, everyone? Alex here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can guess from the title of the video, it is another cheers to gear. And today we are talking about the Canon EOS R5. As many of you have guessed, I am kind of a Canon fanboy, but I've always loved Canon. Now, I have had Sony and Panasonic, but I've always come back to Canon, and it has to be primarily because of those colors. Canon colors are infamous, they're amazing. Skin tones just look fantastic. And also it comes down to ergonomics, the way that they build their cameras. The cameras are comfortable to use, they're easy to use, so I take that into account as well. And that's, again, one reason why I've just always wanted to stick with Canon. Now, I know quite a few of you are probably gonna watch this video and go, Sony all the way, Sony 100%, Panasonic 100%, even Fuji 100%. And I'm not gonna say that any of those are terrible. They're just not my cup of tea. Or in this case, my glass of beer. But today we are talking about the newly announced Canon EOS R5. Am I excited about this camera? You betcha.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Am I gonna purchase this camera? That remains to be seen, because I have to see the price. To see the price of that camera. Like I've said many times before, and I'm probably sounding like a broken record player, but I love my Canon EOS R. So the Canon EOS R5 has me more excited because the things that I didn't necessarily love about the Canon EOS R, the R5 seems to remedy those problems or those gripes. First off, no touch bar. Touch bar is gone. You remember, I mean, I'll link a video up here where I just talk about it. I go into my hatred for the touch bar. The touch bar was useless. It served no purpose for me personally. And as I've researched, many other people who own the EOS R don't really care for the touch bar either. So that's gone. It seems to look beefier, a little bit bigger, probably because it is housing 2 card slots.
No, stop!
Rumor has it it's going to be a CF Express and 1 SD card slot, and the SD card is going to be UHS 2. So that has me excited because CF Express cards aren't as expensive. If I'm correct in this, they're not as expensive as the CFast cards, but a lot of cameras are going to the CF Express route, so I do see those numbers coming down eventually. But the fact that they're gonna have an SD card slot has me super stoked, because I have a ton of SD cards. So hopefully we can record some amazing video codecs to that card. Speaking of video codecs, when Canon officially announced the EOS R5, they did indeed say it will have 8K video. And that to me is mind-blowing. Do we need 8K video? No, absolutely not. At least I don't need 8K video. But knowing Canon, as much as I love them, they do tend to cripple certain features. The 8K, I feel like, is gonna have a crop, but the 4K is gonna be full frame. And that to me has me more excited than 8K. Just having a Canon camera that can shoot 4K full frame. And I know many of you will say, Alex, Sony has full frame 4K. Why don't you just go to Sony? And like I've stated before, I've had Sony before, and I'm not a big fan of Sony. Personally, that's my opinion. I just love the look of Canon. And what's insane about shooting 8K is the fact that it's all being crammed into the body. The body is very similar to the R. The R5 is just gonna be a little thicker, a little bit bigger, but it's crazy because shooting 8K is gonna probably heat up the camera. So I'm wondering what they're gonna do with the heat dissipation from shooting 8K. But as I have it pulled up on my laptop right here, it is a newly designed sensor and processor. So I'm wondering if Canon's about to blow us away with some new technology. Now, the other video features of the camera haven't been released, but Canon rumors are stating that the camera is gonna be able to shoot 4K 120 frames per second. I wanna believe it. I so badly wanna believe that, but I'm actually not believing that. I'm not believing that. 4K 60 though, yes, I do believe that. Otherwise, the information is pretty sparse. Now jumping over to the photography side of the camera, it can shoot 12 frames per second with the mechanical shutter and 20 frames per second with the electronic shutter. And that, I'm excited for that. I'm so excited for that. I don't shoot a lot of fast moving objects. The R has been okay at 7 frames per second, but if I could have 12 frames per second, because I mean, when I do shoot fast moving objects, it's generally my dog. She's fast, she's a fast dog. And of course, when I start having kids, I'm gonna need a fast camera because kids are fast. They're crazy fast. They're wild animals. I have to be able to catch them in their natural habitat. Just running around, drawing on walls. The two main things that everyone, including myself, are wanting to know are price and then release date. Release date has been rumored to be around June or July, which probably makes sense because the Olympics are around there. I don't necessarily see this camera being used at the Olympics to capture the athletes or anything like that, but I mean, if it has 8K video, sure. Maybe some of those sports photographers want to capture some sweet 8K video, then they can do that. If I had to guess the price of the camera, with all the specs that have been released thus far, I'm kind of hoping it's going to be around the $3,500 to $4,000 range. I would love to have that camera, but if it is more expensive than $3,500 or $4,000, I don't think I'll be able to swing it. Well, that wraps up this episode of Cheers to Gear. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing, tap the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video, and if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, shoot to create.